This is Alex from Alente Web Design, and today we're going to talk about taking your site from a basic business card to something that can really start ranking online. If you're going to start expanding your website, you're going to want to start off with a sitemap. Your sitemap doesn't have to be anything special written down, or you don't have to build out the pages right now. Just plan it out on a piece of paper, know whether you're going to be offering just services, whether you're going to have different projects listed on there that link out to other services, or how you're going to do your site structure at the end game. Now is really the time to have it planned out. If you're going to have a lawn care company, are you going to do just an entire page for lawn care services, or are you going to have sub pages for all the different mowing, mulching, trimming services that you offer? If you're going to keep it under, I'd say 20 pages, you should be able to break everything down in a couple sub menus right in your hero section. If you're really going to start linking out to things, you might want to break it down a little bit more in your footer section for navigation. If you're writing blog posts for educational material, you can link those back to projects that you guys have completed, which links back to services or techniques that you offer. All of this helps build your domain authority and helps you look really good to Google, and every one of these pages can show up for different searches. So now that you know how many pages you're going to need, whether it's going to be 1 or 1,000, we're going to start with the actual structure of the site for ranking. This is where it really gets to be fun. Remember in part 1, if you haven't watched that yet, go back and watch that. It all leads into this. Remember your name, address, phone number. Now, SEO is mainly about user experience. So if the users are coming to your site, they're finding what they need, and they're having a good time doing it, Google's going to keep showing your site above your competitors. If they come and every site has a different navigation to it and it's hard to figure out what they want, they don't know how to get in contact with somebody, you're just not going to rank compared to somebody that has their name, address, phone number, quick and easy for you. So working top to bottom here, we're going to start off with the header and work our way through the hero and down from there. Your logo in the top left should always be a link to your homepage. You want to make sure your logo has your name in it. Don't use just a symbol. Even Pepsi has their name in their logo now. On your menu, make sure you're keeping it simple and easy to navigate. If you're going to have any more than 5 to 7 options to click on, make sure you use things like mega menus or just drop downs so people can get around easier. Make sure your menu is consistent across all the pages. I'm counting 5 different menus on a single site. These guys have hundreds of pages, and regardless of what you're clicking on, you know exactly where everything's going to be. Now, moving on down to the hero section, we're going to take a look at the actual structure of these sites. Now, something that you'll run into a lot in the hero sections is that people actually use the H tags to style the text. So you can use your big bold letters, but you can structure it in a way that makes sense to Google. So this small text is actually structured so that it tells Google it's the H1. This is the most important thing on the page. Welcome to ARS Services, who we are. Number 2, excavation and sanitation services in Metro Detroit. So that's the second most important thing that Google sees. Another H2, break it down. These are the section headings. When you break it down into subsections, you can use H3s, H4s, however far you break it down. It's 2024 and people have incredibly short attention spans. So you don't want to make them scroll through and work for it to figure out what the heck you're doing. Make it so when they load in the first screen they see, even from a desktop to a cell phone, they can see who you are, what you do, and what makes you special, how they can make that happen for themselves within the first screen of your website. Everything down from there is just building proof and recognition. You don't want to use generic headings like, your dream is our dream. Wheelchair user, reduced mobility. It's not just about vans anymore. What do vans have to do with reduced mobility? What is it that you do? How can you help me? How do I make that happen for myself? Now, these guys could have done Vestal Contractors as their H1 tag and turning your remodeling dreams into reality as a H2 tag. They do have a nice call to action. That's great. But you have to scroll all the way down. Construction projects are very involved. That's whether it's this or that. You need a contractor you can trust. One that's okay. That's the first time contractor is mentioned on this page. Silver's Contracting is mentioned all the way down at the bottom. These things seem stupid, but it's those little keywords that really help you rank for those services in that area. Now, this is a client site, and you can see here excavation and sanitation services in Metro Detroit. And when you look that up in an incognito window, you can see the first result is going to be ARS services. And when you scroll down here and look at the businesses, they're actually way outside of the Detroit area. But because that's the most important thing, two things about them, that's what they rank for. Now, depending on how many reviews you have, I like to go into either your services or your social proof. So these are the services people can, if they're interested, click it right on through. The menu breaks it down nice and easy. Everything's clean. People know what to expect and where to expect it. How to contact. Keep it easy for the user. Different certifications and accreditations that you have can all help with building trust with potential clients and help them click through to that next step to contacting you. Another great form of social proof is, again, those projects that we talked about earlier. If you can take on a multi-million-dollar project, you can probably take on one worth a few $100,000. You get that worry right out of the way before they even have to ask the questions of if you're capable. Now, the final tip for this video is going to be make sure the entire site is mobile accessible. Whether it's a tablet or a cell phone or a desktop, make sure that that site looks good on every device. However, that does not necessarily mean looking the same on every device. When your site is actually responsive, it doesn't matter what size screen it's on, it looks acceptable to everybody that's using it. This is Alex from Alante Web Design, and if you found this video helpful, gently tap that like button and subscribe for episode 3.